kicking off this 10 o'clock hour with a great interview because I've heard through the grapevine we have a historian in front of us. Dan Brannon wrote a great article, and Ruth E. Bell is with me. And people know you as Ruth E. Bell, but it was Ruth E. Mitchell initially.
Yes.
That's awesome. And
my sister is Lois Mitchell. I'm Ruth Mitchell Bell, and I've been that for a long time. And since she moved home, a lot of people think we're twins.
Now,
but we are both on the board at the museum, and I run errands for her for the museum. And so a lot of times, you know, we both know the same thing. We grew up, and we both have the same mother. Who was in the high school class that Robert Wadlow was in.
That's a perfect segue because I was going to start off with talking about this article. Fun fact, because I like to throw these things onto the interviewee, is that I was talking with Dan when I first came to RiverBender, and I said, you know, there was an amazing book that my grandmother got me and my entire family. We all had a copy, Boy Giant. I had no idea Dan wrote that book. None. And I go, I wish I could meet the guy that wrote that. He goes, it was me. And I looked, I go, there's no way. I have never felt like I needed to put a dunce hat on more in my life. And you have, I mean, some really great insights about this.
I kind of felt the same way. My family is involved with the Alton Museum of History and Art. My, I think Mom's first cousin or something, one of the Meisenheimer side, Mabel Charlene Meisenheimer-Gill, helped start the Alton Museum of History and Art back in 1971. And so Mom and the family have aided over the years, and now that I'm retired, I can help more and volunteered to be on the board. And so I've done what I can. I'm an English teacher, so I like to collect information and give it out, but I am not an expert at politics, city politics, various ways to build a building or take care of things. So it's a steep learning curve, but I'm very good at connecting people and information. And let's see, I got lost on my way. We, back in 2009, for whatever reason, we thought a good thing to have at the museum would be a Friday night event in the summer. So for 10 weeks, we set it up. For 10 weeks, we had Friday night at the museum. It was sort of like one of the movie titles, you know.
Yeah.
And so since Wadlow had been in Mom's class, it was her class first, so I'm not really.
Good point. It was your mom's class.
Yes, he was in the one before her, I think. And then he was sick for a semester, and so he ended up in her class because he had to take one more semester.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, and that's why she graduated, her class was like a year earlier, so they used to do 2 classes a year back then, and she graduated, you know, at the end of fall,
right,
in the winter class there. And so when he started shirtlift after he graduated, it was during the winter, which was not a good time.
No.
So it was very hard for him, you know. In high school, you just sit there and you don't take quite as many notes. And so during high school, you know, he did pretty okay. But when he got to shirtlift, you know, it's all these Illinois icy sidewalks.
And being that big.
Very dangerous. And like at SIU, which is spread all over everywhere, and last semester I was teaching there, you know, I'd walk like 2 hours a day or something to get
right, because it's so big.
Classes. And he'd have maybe 10 minutes, you know, to get across the ice and upstairs.
I want to point out, I think that just the correlations that were made that you guys have done time and time again is just that daily living, and I would never have thought, how dreadful it could be as an experience to be so, tall, so big that it's painful to walk. And especially in icy conditions, especially at the old high school going up those, those stairs. I mean, that's got to be a burden on the body.
This is a story that I've just been reminded of about Alton High Stairs that I'm not going to tell you. I've just learned, they pop up automatically, and you just say, not going to do that. Because that's me and not him. I don't think the stairs in the front were there.
I'll be darned. See, I don't know too much.
The building ones.
Right.
I've seen discussions about it and pictures on Facebook on the Alton High.
I stay out of those groups because I just like to observe, and see where the conversation goes. But that's fascinating.
I've seen pictures where in front is just grass, coming down from the main steps. And if you saw him at the front door of the main building at Alton High, the old Alton High, not the new Alton High, the old Alton High, that's now Alton Middle School, he just is by the front door.
Right.
You don't see all those others.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine that sliding down the hill would be good for him either.
No.
But it's cool. Anyway.
Sorry, don't let me distract you here.
I want to tell a story about the picture on the front.
Please do.
What else is in the story that was online? Oh, Mom, his locker was next to Mom. It wasn't that Mom was my mom, Helen Edwards Mitchell.
Okay.
And so another hundreds of cousins on the Edwards side. The locker was next to hers. He had to go up the stairs sideways to fit his feet on the steps. What was the other thing? The other thing that was in the article that Dan wrote was about when he was walking down the hall, and he's so tall.
Yeah.
He had to swing his arms to move. And Mom, on the picture, there we go. Picture can be now. Lois found it. Bless their hearts, the Bob Grawl came and took, can you put that in front of something? Picture.
Which one?
The top one with all the people.
Let me see if I can do this. Hold on. Describe it, and I'm going to get up and show it.
Okay. The super famous picture in the universe is the picture of Wadlow at his high school class graduation party at the YWCA. And they had 10-foot tall picture of it at the Alton Square for a while, but it's gone now. But much bigger than life size.
Right.
And my mom, since she's kind of short,
is right in the front of that.
Is right in the front. And there were two different poses, because I've seen two different pictures. Some of these people have their hands down, and some, up, just slightly different.
Yeah.
And so Mom is in the front with a light flowery dress there, and she's real short, so they put her in the front. And the rest of the people all look like Where's Waldo?
Right.
It's like, it'll be. Plus, there's at least a couple people on this side of Mom and this side who get cut off. So Mom was far enough over in the front. So they publish that in the Telegraph, 2 or 3 times a year. Right. They'll just stick it there because it's a neat picture.
Well, Ruth, another thing that fascinates me, and just hearing, some of the stories in the article about just his kindness and how he's a nice person. And going in, and I listened to some of the old radio interviews with him in New York City talking about the Ringling Brothers Circus. Is that the right one?
I guess.
Oh, okay.
I forget.
And it was one of the circus.
It's in the book.
It's in Dan's book. And just nothing but just so much love for his community and bringing awareness to Alton. And when a time, he really didn't have to because no one really would have known anyway. And that's what sticks out to me is this is a guy that transcended life. And he went through all these obstacles and hurdles in his life and still managed to make a great, life out of the cards he was dealt and raise us to this platform of prowess.
In 22 years.
And that's all? I thought he was older than 22 when he passed away.
Died in 1940. Lois had me look it up.
That is incredible. I did not know that.
Yeah. He, you have read this then?
Yes, I have.
This is the best book.
It is, and I mean that, not because Dan's my coworker, because he did that good of a job on this piece. It's very good.
That has been my career my whole life, is teaching people, mainly English comp, and to write clearly and interestingly, or in an organized fashion. And this is magnificent. It is just the most fun to read. See, I put little note places in it here and there. And I just saw the word Masonic. So the picture here and the word Masonic are reminders also.
So I heard that actually, I forgot that he was a Freemason because it's been a while since I picked it up.
A DMLA.
Now, can you tell me the difference?
Younger people who, I'm not one, and it's been a while, but my understanding is young people who are related to Masons, and we have the Masonic Temple Franklin up in Upper Alton. And their children, their sons, can be DMLAs. The daughters, I think, are Rainbow Girls.
Okay.
And something else for adult women. And so he was a DMLA, and because of that, I have some stories from my friend Jack David Bullock, and I've seen pictures of his dad, who was in DMLAs and Masonic things around the time of Wadlow. And I have a vague feeling it may also have something to do with the Boy Scouts. But,
that's for another time.
David died, and I'm not sure. But there's a picture of all of them standing in front of a bus. And you can tell Wadlow, and David's dad is one of the three in front who has the white shirt, and I keep forgetting. And I'm pretty sure that picture's probably in the museum, and it gets in the paper fairly often, too.
Well, and that's just, it's so fascinating because, I always tell people, Ruth, I do pro wrestling, and I went to Austin, Texas, and, got to train with, Dusty Rhodes' son, and I'm in the, getting off the airport. And
when you say professional wrestling, do you mean real, like Greco-Roman?
I'm just going to say wrestling at the chase because we can't use the F word,
Okay.
Fake, but because I'll get tortured here. But so I'm out there and I'm getting off the plane and I'm getting in my Uber to go train. And believe it or not, there's an individual sitting in his car and he goes, "Where are you from?" And I said, I normally say the St. Louis area, but from Alton because it still has both and no one knows, And he goes, "Where at in the area?" I said, "Alton, Illinois." He goes, "Robert Wadlow." He knew all about Robert Wadlow from Ripley's Believe It or Not and did so much research and found out so much about this town. And that's why I think it's so incredible that an individual from, decades ago is still bringing us this much attention with just who he was as not only as, what he was dealt with in life and that, extended height and, being that tall, but just his personality transcends it too.
I have bumped into one or two people who, over the decades, who think that we put too much attention. We as a town put too much attention on someone who was just accidentally tall. Not his fault.
Right. That's true.
And however, it causes people to get here.
Yeah.
And then they will learn about Lovejoy, Underground Railroad, all the other magnificent and amazing and awesome things that have happened in Alton.
You're right.
We have people come to the museum from all over the world to come and see about Wadlow.
it's just so fascinating. And you're absolutely right, because like I said before, that connecting piece, you know, it might, don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about with Robert Wadlow, but you and I do, Ruth. Before we take a break, because I want to talk all things Alton History Museum in a second. Is there another story that maybe you can share with us that is...
I said Masons. This is the one on the picture on the front.
Yeah.
But finish your sentence.
Oh, no, it's all good. I just wanted to ask you maybe about a story or a tidbit story that you could share with us that we can wrap up our talk on Robert Wadlow about.
Well, this is a tiny one. But when I gave my talk in 2009, and up till that point, you know, like you and Dan Rhiannon, up to that point, I guess I just assumed my mother was the only person who had bumped into Wadlow.
Right.
And it's like, duh. And so as I was working on it, the Sunday or the Saturday before, there was reunion of the summer chorus people from back in the early 70s. And it was at Main Street Methodist where Wadlow went, and they have a Wadlow room and a big sign, you know, picture of him and photographs. And so I talked to all the people there, and our folk singing teacher, creative writing teacher from Alton High from when I was there. Her dad, when she was a baby, her dad had lifted her up, and she, I guess, shook hands with Wadlow. And it's like everyone I talked to for the 2 weeks before, their family, their parents had some sort of Wadlow story.
Wow.
And it's like, and they just don't talk about it.
You're right.
I don't know what the deal is, but...
Well, you're right. And it's something that... It's so cool to hear that, though, because he really is a connecting piece to a lot of us, even conversing today about certain things and going, oh, yeah, I remember my great-grandma or my great-grandpa. It's really cool. And for you guys to preserve...
Very cool.
Well, for you guys to preserve it, the history of this town, too, is a whole nother... We can't thank anyone enough that does that, because it's not going to be found again if we don't, capture it and record it now.
A lot of people put a lot of blood into it and have worked hard.
Absolutely.
The picture, this is where I lived, this house, this room, is where he lived on Sanford when he was there, and that's his little brother peeking around the room. And I went to an estate sale at that place, and the lady who had lived there, years later, had painted everything the most awful colors. like the beautiful steps were bright blue or something. Oh. But they still had this photograph hanging on the wall, right where the picture was taken.
That's cool.
And it was. I don't know if it's still there, but, that was a while back.
That is so cool. Ruth, what we're going to do is we're going to take about a 1.5-minute break, because we got to come back and talk all things Alton History Museum real quick, and then I'll let you go. But first, you got to hang with me through a commercial break.
All righty.
We'll take a quick break in our Wednesday edition, the first day of March, right here on our daily show. It rolls on right after this in the heart of the Riverbend.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good. Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
Inspiring her dreams and helping her pursue them. That's why we protect your house and your car, because we know they're the launching pad for their dreams. And now you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. American Family Insurance.
Welcome back to our daily show with me, CJ Nasello, and Ruth E. Bell, a historian that has some really insightful conversations already about Robert Wadlow. But now, something I really wanted to talk to you about, and honestly, the main event of the interview, if you will, is the Alton History Museum, or Alton Museum of History and Arts. I mean, this is something that hasn't been open since the pandemic, but there's a chance it could come back?
We are hoping that maybe this year, this summer, we can get it open. The trouble with the pandemic, we were going great guns, having people from all over, having volunteers, having the board, having Friday night at the museum, the first Friday of every month since 2010. Mm-hmm. And it's very easy to find speakers in Alton.
Right.
Then we were closed down, and it's ZAP. And we have a very old, well, it's about the oldest building in Alton, one of the oldest, 1832, I think.
Wow.
Oh. And in our little speeches, we say this is the oldest continually used educational building in the state of Illinois.
Wow.
Educational. Yes, I don't know if the pandemic messed that up or not. And we would have had our 50th anniversary celebration last summer.
Well,
last year.
And that's the thing, because, you know, so many things in this town, and I don't know, Ruth, if you can agree with me on this, but I think sometimes we take things for granted once they're there, you know, and we're used to, you know, kind of passing by it or walking by, but we really don't realize how important, you know, this museum is. And I'm really one of these people that thinks we need to get this open, because if we don't preserve our history and really have a place to showcase that, we're missing a big component of why people come into this area to begin with a lot of the times, and that tourism avenue. I mean, what better way to round out all the great things that, you know, whether it's the cruise ships or you name it, that's going on.
Have you been in the museum?
Now, Ruth, I went when I was little. I don't remember. I went there, and I was with my family because we did. It was right actually when the book came out, and my grandma took us all, and we went up to
this book.
Yep. And so it's been quite a bit here.
2003.
Yeah, I remember going because I was still.
That's just the other day.
Oh, This is awesome. You are awesome. And I gotta ask you though, with all the great things in this museum, I mean, we're at a point now where we don't want to lose that, and we really shouldn't. And what's been some of the hurdles that you guys have gone through? I know ventilation was a little bit of one, right?
That is one of them, because the powers that be,
Yep.
of which there are many, conflicting since the pandemic started. A lot of different rules on, say, local level and state level and federal level and medical level. And so our president has, Brian Combs, has monitored all the science put out by the various official museum organizations and the government organizations and such. And so one of the big things was ventilation. Well, the building is from 1832, you know? So you can't really rearrange the ventilation and put, you know.
Well, and
so we have now 3 devices that he found that are scientific, and I don't know what they are, and I haven't seen them yet. But they help in the different parts of the museum to ventilate the air in some way, or clean it, or, you know.
Right.
So.
Well, and with that, I mean, is there a way that, is that really the main reason we can't open? Or
I don't know.
Okay. Well, is there a way for the public really to kind of maybe show some support? Is it reaching out?
Well, it's an all-volunteer museum, and we run mainly just only by donations. We don't get funding from taxes like the library or the River Museum, I think, is run by the government somehow. And so many people have given memorials to the museum, and that has helped a lot. And while we've been closed, a lot of that has helped pay for the electric bill and such, you know, because those keep coming.
Yeah, that's true.
And so volunteers, encouraging words would be good. We have a Facebook page.
Okay.
And that is pretty much the best way to communicate with the museum. We have had a website in the past, but I tried that this morning, and it not only is broken and doesn't work, if you click on it, you go to somewhere in Russia, and the words are in Russian, and it's some company there that sells some computer thing. I'm not sure.
Wow.
But that was interesting.
Well, and the Facebook page for all of you guys at home, it's facebook.com/AMHAINC. That's the direct link that will take you there. And you can stay up to date. There's posts like this one that commemorates Robert Wadlow's 105th birthday, and so many great pieces of history
there
on there.
Were some really good African America articles in there. I was looking again this morning. I was wanting to be up to date about what you can find.
Well, and there's so much really cool stuff that we could talk, I mean, for hours about, but we're almost out of time. So let me redirect you guys right back here to facebook.com/AMHAINC. That's going to take you right to Alton Museum of History and Art's Facebook page, where you guys can find all the contact information, the phone numbers.
Our gift shop.
Oh, yes. Is it?
It works, but you do it over Facebook.
Okay. So that's another great thing. And we have about a minute left. Can you take us through that gift shop real quick?
I looked on it this morning. It still has books. I don't think it had Boy Giant. Maybe not. If it isn't on there, it means Dan needs to bring us some more.
That's right.
And it still has the wonderful amazing book by Judy Hoffman, and that's about the history of Alton Godfrey area up through about the Civil War.
Wow.
That is an awesome book. That is another day, hours and hours. Let's see what else. A lady called me the other day wondering if we still had the video of Robert Wadlow, and that's what I wanted to ask you. Have you seen the video?
Which video?
There's only one. There's only one, the.
Oh, no, I have not seen the video.
It's about half an hour. Forget how long we've had it, but it was videotape, and now it's on a DVD, and you can, Lois says, my sister says, you can get that still at the museum. Let me not see, and Dan said he wanted to help some way. Another lady wanted to help. The lady who wanted the Wadlow video said, wow, this is so cool. She helped send tours.
Well, that's
the other thing. The museum is not quite as wide and spacious as your office here. So we have like school kid tours of maybe 20, 40, 50 people with one person, and we're trying to figure out how not to breathe on each other since masks are useless, and in my expert, humble opinion.
Yeah.
When you give tours of those things, it's like squash up here so you can all see.
Right.
And we're all friendly.
Well,
so that's added to the difficulty making. We don't want anyone to get sick.
Well, and that's a really important thing as well. And Ruth, I couldn't thank you so much for giving me, I told you 15 minutes, we doubled it. That's okay, because we had fun talking about so many cool things with Robert Wadlow, and kind of reminiscing and recircling back to that article by Dan Brannon, but also talking a little bit about the History Museum, because I don't think a lot of us talk about it enough. And the more we do, we talk about it, we bring it up, we raise awareness to it. It's something that the city needs. And Ruth Bell, you are welcome here anytime.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to take a quick break because we have Masterpiece Art Sanctuary. They join us next to fill us in on a really cool event coming our way and ways we can utilize their great service. We'll talk right after a quick break.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices. Located on Humbert Road in Alton.
inspiring her dreams and helping her pursue them. That's why we protect your house and your car, because we know they're the launching pad to their dreams. And now you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. American Family Insurance.